Hi, I'm Hennah. Most of you know me from media, but now I want to come into your space and your living rooms and your life and share a different perspective. This show that's going to bring you several episodes in this series will be all about politics, economy, lifestyle change, and what's happening not just in our cities, but in the rural areas as well. In this episode, we speak to David Lawrence from the National Youth Development Authority, and a treat, we also get to speak to Edward Isouve from Inspire Leaders. One of the most critical voices we need today is the youth, and we speak to David Lawrence from the National Youth Development Authority.
Because when we engage observers from different missions, different institutions that come to see how we facilitate our elections, if it's are we upholding the values of transparency, accountability, and integrity in our democracy, and the recommendations that have been put forward by these institutions, which are renowned institutions, to the next government or the next lot of politicians that form the government, they are responsible to deliver on that. And very basic things that we was an oversight. Number one was the national census, which we did not hold a national census after 10 years. Therefore, it makes it very difficult for us to plan that is not evidence-based and to come up with evidence-based policies, basically. Secondly is on the common role. It's very important for us to know the demographics of individuals or people in the population that is voting for us. And we don't know this by percentage of gender, percentage of human different categories, which is persons who are below the age of 25 and between 18 and 25, that is the youth age category by international standards. We also should know how many people are persons living with disabilities, how many are populations of LGBTQI, how many are indigenous, how many are immigrants in the country who have been made citizen and are exercising for the first time their voting rights. So we don't have that information and data at the moment. So again, in moving forward, the next government should really consider looking at, not consider looking at, but to implement, take action, and take responsibility of implementing those recommendations, such as from the Commonwealth Observer Group, whether it is from Transparency International, whether it is from other international institutions, such as the European Union Commission. Those recommendations are the ones that will help us guide the next 5 years of preparation for the elections. And let me also frankly say that preparing for elections does not take 1 year before the actual elections. I think one of our good friends has shared that. I would like to give credit to Freda Joseph from Morobe Province, Lay, who has strongly said that we have to prepare 5 years in advance. That also comes down to the very, I think, nitty-gritty of things. That is civic participation, advocacy. People really need to know why they participate in elections. People really need to know the difference between how the processes of democracy in a modern society and tribalism in our cultural society. And sometimes we don't differentiate these two, and they come into play in terms of the results of the elections. So again, it's about sensitization of those messages to our people on election violence as well. A lot of people have died during this election, innocent people getting hurt at the same time. And this also causes the safety, movement, and freedom of people in a society, and many of us get traumatized about that. So again, when we are addressing election improvements, we also have to look at the social aspects of it, not only the logistics or maybe the technical aspect of that, but also the economic aspect of it. During a number of consultations that I've done assisting the Commonwealth Observer Group in the country, my role was only in a coordination role, but I would say many of the issues that were raised by young people during this time was the importance of the youth voice, and we need that youth data to be visible and accessible for young people so that they can participate in elections. Secondly is on the working population, the working class people. They've been given only a limited time to cast their votes, but have never been given the time to really confirm if their names are on the common roll. And it's frustrating and dissatisfying to people who don't find their names on the common roll, because what we should systemically be doing is that we already have avenues where you can actually extract all of this information data, whether it's the employer roster roll, whether education institutions that enroll students who are 18 plus and will be turning 18 in the next 5 years. Those are the places where we should be collecting that and making it easier for us. Or even the Public Service Commission, where DPM, where you can have the file numbers of citizens who are employed by the state, because according to the labor laws, only one who is 18 plus gets a tax file number who pays tax. So it would be easier in extracting this data from IRC. And so those are examples that I'm giving. But again, people, as we are moving forward in the digital era, people are now recommending for an online metric voting system. And I think that is a good recommendation, because a lot of manual voting process that we are doing, especially when it comes to polling, when it comes to counting, there's a lot of foul play that's been happening. And that's very obvious. We know about it. Hence, other people take advantage to drive violence into the process. So in order to avoid that, I think we should also look at investing in ICT infrastructure. We should be also investing in artificial intelligence, and not only just buying into the idea, but also looking at the pros and cons of how this should work for us in PNG context, and what are the risks that comes with it.
Thank you, David, for an awesome interview. And now we talk to Edward from Inspire Leaders.
My name is Edward Isouve. I'm an author and motivational speaker. I've been doing leadership seminars within the city, and my business is Inspire Leaders. We registered with IPA, and we're all about changing mindsets, and we believe that Papua New Guineans, we have a lot of potential within us, but we are trapped by our own mindset and mentality, and we need to come out of it. So we are about breaking those barriers, personal barriers, so we can add value back to the nation. And we're definitely at a crossroads, and it's sad to see that we've gained independence, and from that time on forwards, we've sort of regressed as a nation. And looking at all the issues that are happening around the country, it's a very deep issue. And we talked about it earlier that, you know, the government, successive governments have been focusing on the infrastructural developments, the service delivery. But when you talk about a nation or a country, it's really not about the buildings or the world-class facilities. A nation is made up of people. And when you neglect the very fabric of a nation, the people, then the nation is decaying. So we've seen that. We build brand new classrooms. We have new planes. We have so many things that we are doing as a nation collectively. But what's happening? The people are banning new classrooms. We hear stories about the planes, they're banning them. So what's happening? And I believe the solution lies in integral human development. And our constitution says that. But as a nation, we're not doing it. Our leaders have different priorities. And it's sad because our leaders are modeling that type of leadership to our people. And when you talk to an ordinary person, they think leadership is all about bringing service delivery. But it really isn't. Because if that is the solution, then why are we having a lot of problems in our nation? People are scared to go out to do shopping, daily activities. Why? Because of ethnic clashes. So there is a huge giant, if I can use that term, giant in this nation that is so subtle, but we have completely missed. And as a leader myself, and running these seminars, this is the message I want to bring to the young people or the next generation, that we can change this. We are the voice. Yes, at the political level, yes, there is a level of influence, but as us individuals, we also have that power to choose and change the course of this nation. So I would encourage all the young people and the next leaders in this nation to focus on yourself, focus on your family, be a role model to your children. So national development starts in the confines of our home. That is where a community is built. I would encourage the young people, believe in yourself. Look, things may not work out around you, the education system, is designed in a way where we're getting dropouts. So you could be in that situation at some stage. But I want to encourage you, believe in yourself, discover your purpose, okay? And that's the driving message that Inspire Leaders we are speaking towards the nation and towards everyone, is discover your purpose. You are born with so much purpose and potential. You can be a businessman, you can be whoever you want to be in life, okay? And even though, if you don't make it, let's put it this way, if you don't make it in the education system, you can still make it in life, okay? God has given so much potential to us as human beings. But don't allow the system, okay? I'm using the word system. System is the environment and what's around you to dictate and define your life, okay? You can be great. And we've seen, testimonies, we've seen examples of a lot of people who dedicated themselves. Even myself, when I was young, I saw myself, that I was going to be someone influential in the future. So you make up your mind right now when you are young. Decide, set your destiny right now, okay? And say that, look, I'm going to be this. Doesn't matter what comes in life, what challenges, you decide your destiny today. Okay, make up your mind today and let that decision that you make today be the pillar of your life, okay? And it needs to come from a place of purpose. And as a young man also, growing up in the city and going to school at Gordon's Secondary School, that's where I actually gave my life to the Lord. And giving my life to the Lord actually changed my whole paradigm, changed my whole life in a completely different way. And getting to know the Bible and the Word of God is very powerful, because there were a lot of principles in there that really cemented me as a young person. So when I got to know God and when I got to know His Word, everything in me changed. My belief system started to change. I told myself, look, it's not what's happening around me, but it's what's happening within me that defines who I am. So I made up my mind that I'm going to be someone. I will make it all the way, okay, to university. So I made it all the way to university. All my brothers didn't make it to university. I made it all the way because I set myself a goal. I had plans that I was going to be someone. So I wrote it down. I wrote my vision down when I was young. And now today, sitting here, I'm seeing the fruit of that vision now happening in my life personally. So I want to encourage you young people, seek God, seek a vision for your life, write it down and work towards it. Let it be the guiding light for you as you venture on in life, because you will face a lot of challenges, okay? And when you have a sense of purpose and a destiny for your life, it will keep you founded and grounded, so you can maneuver properly in life and not be distracted. A lot of our young people are distracted because they don't have a sense of purpose and destiny for their life. Alcohol, cult groups, so many things that are happening. These are things that will always be there. But we need to change the narrative. Our young people need to be the custodians of their own destiny. And it starts today. It starts now. That's why this program, this session is very important, because we want to change the narrative that's portrayed in the nation, that our young people can do it. And we are the testimonies of that. So we can bring that life and model that life back to the young people, so they can see and say, yes, there's someone already out there who's living that life and doing it. If you can do it, I can do it too.
And thank you so much to David and Edward for their time. That's it on this episode. Join us again for another edition of Hennah's Corner.